So we know that oceans are very salty with high concentrations of sodium, chloride, bromide, and many other salts. As the seawater begins to freeze, these salts become trapped in the ice. However, there are pockets of brine, or salty water, that flows through the sea ice and allows the salts to migrate up through the sea ice pack. My research is trying to figure out what is the structure of this sea ice and how are these salts moving. Eventually, they become deposited up on the surface of the sea ice and get picked up by the blowing snow. So for our work, we look at the microstructure of both the snow and the sea ice to figure out where the salts, in particular bromide, is located. Last March, I traveled up to Barrow, Alaska, which is the northernmost point in the US, to gather sea ice and blowing snow samples. We were part of a large group of 40 collaborators from 11 different institutions looking at all aspects of this ozone depletion process. My work was to have 2 different sites out on the sea ice where I set up a tower to collect the blowing snow. At these sites, I also drilled down sea ice cores that I was able to bring back to the lab. This last fall, I traveled to the other pole, down to the Ross Sea area. We were down in McMurdo Station for approximately 6 weeks. In order to study our sea ice, we need small samples. So we first cut up our sea ice approximately every 10 centimeters to get samples throughout the sea ice core. The first technique that we looked at is doing essentially a CAT scan of our sea ice. This allows us to see the fine-scale characterizations of what the sea ice structure really looks like. The second aspect is to take samples, again, every 10 centimeters throughout the sea ice core, and look at just the general salt concentrations. The best part of doing my work here at Thayer is that it provides me the opportunity to work with several different departments. I originally came in with a background both in math and chemistry, and because of the interdisciplinary aspect of my work, it was really important for me to be able to collaborate